Hello. Sitting here at the bank since I finally got down here.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too. Now, sorry if this is shaky and you see every single blemish on my face. Hi. How's everybody doing on YouTube? There's like nobody on the road today. It's kind of eerily creepy, to be honest with you. Like, there isn't anybody on the road. And it's the day after Christmas. Maybe nobody else in this town got any sleep last night either. Maybe everybody's still in bed. I don't know. It's like a ghost town in my town. I'm not going to be able to really read your comments. First off, I don't have my glasses on. Hi, Jess. How you doing today, sweetheart? I'm sure you got no sleep either. I'm on my way up to see my doctor. I have to drive an hour away, so I figured I'd come on and do a live and at least chit-chat a little bit about I'm pretty much stuck gel in my hair, and here I am. Hang on a minute. I'm really... Honey, I know. And I only know how, from my own experience of how I had to look at everything from a different perspective as far as like when my grandmother passed and stuff. The first one devastated me. The second one, I was upset at first until God showed me a sign and I knew she was okay. And I got a completely different perspective. You might want to watch the Peace Dealer's ritual tomorrow or today sometime that he did last night for the eclipse and the new moon. It was pretty good. It was pretty powerful, and it might give you at least a little bit of a sense of you know, those who are here are meant to be here. Hi, Dustwalker. How are you doing? I'm sorry, guys, if I can't really I'm driving, so I have like an hour trip up to my doctor. Like I said, this is the last time I'm coming up here. I'm going to be switching my doctor back to somewhere closer to here. I hate to do this. I've had this doctor for the last 7-8 years. But it's really not practical to be driving up here every couple of months. I mean, before I used to have to drive up here every month just to get my prescriptions filled. I kid you not. And then I get a hold of my mom today, because I felt bad, because of course after I freaking get upset about stuff and I vent, then I feel bad because I feel like I'm being ungrateful. You know what I mean? But it wasn't that I was trying to be ungrateful. It was just, that was a huge trigger for me, man. There's a fucking cop behind me. If he turns after me, guys, nah, it's a sheriff. Oh, good. I know the cops are going to be out today, so it's the day after Christmas. There's people taking shit back that they didn't want. But I called my mom today and I apologized to her because she said, I thought you would have liked, you know, giving me all the whole spiel of why. And I'm like, well, no, it's not even your guys' fault. It was my own trigger that I have to not let things from the past trigger me anymore. I gotta shut that down. I have to deal with it when it happens. I gotta accept it for what it was and move on. It's just when you've been hurt like so many times in a row and the same shit, and it seems like the same pattern and the same bull. And it's like what I'm trying to explain to my mom. It's like, do you realize like this was like the 7th Christmas of dealing with these type of fucking people? That I was, not that I want to be a victim. That's not it. I'm sorry if I'm not really responding. I don't have my glasses on for reading, but that's one of the things that I kind of like was purging out last night during this eclipse and stuff was, why in the fuck did this have to happen the way it did? Like, why did that trigger me so bad? Why do I feel like a guilty? You know, I felt like a spoiled little fucking brat because I didn't get what I wanted. Well, it was more that what I needed. But I look like a spoiled brat. Yeah, I knew it was something that wasn't practical. It wasn't something that I was going to be able to use. And like this is a huge difference as far as not necessarily. I got hardly any sleep, by the way. Let's just put that out there. I had a hard time last night. I don't know about the rest of you with the energies. This is nailing me on every single front because it's all cardinal energy. Every single cardinal sign is getting nailed with this eclipse. Especially if you have planets within the first 0 to 6 degrees in any cardinal sign. Water signs are getting nailed as well. So if you're a water sign, which many of my subs are, they're Pisces, I'm sure you're feeling this big time. I also have a planet. I have my natal Uranus inside of 1 degree Scorpio. So we know Scorpio is a fixed sign, fixed water, fixed emotions. And Scorpios are extremely practical when it comes to money and finances and stuff like that. They're pretty good with money, let's just put it that way. They're very innovative, transformative. So, like I said, if you guys have not saw the ceremony, the ritual last night with the peace dealer, please do. This eclipse isn't just a normal eclipse. This is like an eclipse on steroids, is what people are calling it. Of all the portals before this, leading all the that are in Capricorn, right? Jeez, man, here it's because with cell phone service. But my gosh, like what little sleep I did get, it's like it was disturbed. I was frustrated. My cats kept waking me up. Either I sit there and scratch, or I don't know, they were just freaking annoying. But if I close my door to my bedroom, it gets so hot in there, and if I leave it open, then they're in there. So it's like, I don't mind my cat sleeping with me and stuff, but when I barely got to sleep until like after 5 o'clock this morning, and I knew I had to get up and drive an hour to this doctor appointment, it didn't thrill me that I only got like 2.5, 3 hours sleep. And it was very unrestful. Now, I do have a lot of stuff I have to get done over the next week. I have my insurance papers I have to fill out so I don't lose my health insurance. That needs done. That needs handed in before the end of the year. And I got to start all my tax stuff for not just this past year, for the previous 2. So I got 3 years worth of taxes I have to do that I never fucking done. So let's just put it that way. I'm probably going to get nailed there too with all kinds of fees. And when they're the ones that always owe me money anyway. So it's not like I give a shit. To be honest with you, I really don't. Sally Mae's going to steal it all anyway from my school loans that I'm not putting to good use. But there's a lot of practical things where I know where I could be saving money that I'm not. It's just I dropped the ball on a lot of things this last year and last few years. I'm like 105 pounds. Do I need to go to the gym? No. Why do I have a gym membership? I have no idea. $20 comes out of my account every month for the gym. I don't need it no more. I mean, yeah, it's kind of nice to have the stuff, but I don't need it. I mean, it is kind of nice to be able to use the tanning facilities and stuff like that, but hell, I don't go tanning. I don't even barely leave my house. And now that I will be job hunting the next few weeks, beyond doing my business and everything else, because I'm starting a website. And there's a bunch of shit I've been slacking on because I've had no energy. So I'm pretty sure that this eclipse, they said something about you're gonna get an energy boost. Well, I really need it because I've had no energy for like the last 10 years. It's been the decade of hell for this girl. It really has. And I don't want to sound like, oh, poor pity me. It's time to overcome the hurdles and transcend that fucking chart. I didn't understand for the longest time why it seemed like everything was so hard in my life. Like, I didn't understand it. Before I understood a little bit of astrology, I didn't understand why, you know, on the drop of a dime, people would just turn on me. Just on the drop of a dime. And I'm thinking, or gaslight me, or I didn't understand it until I realized I have Pluto opposites my sun and Jupiter's in my sun sign. Aries are very easy to hate. Aries people. A lot of people don't like Aries. However, prior to this transit, I'm going to let you know, I had a lot of people who really loved me. When I had my cleaning business, the people I cleaned for, because I was so driven and so anal and really good at what I did, they would recommend me to other people. And my cleaning business really grew, which actually it's funny because most of the people I cleaned for was in this very wealthy town I'm driving up through now. And, you know, I was in a bad car accident in 2011 and I lost everything. Simultaneously, at the same time, I decided to go back to college. one of the people who I had cleaned for was a sociology major, or she had a doctorate in sociology. A beautiful person. Worked for the hospital in the research lab. And, you know, she's always told me she knew I was smart. She knew I was business savvy. And she told me I was way too smart to be cleaning houses for the rest of my life, that I really should consider going back to college. She didn't go back, and she very much inspired me to look into it and to go back to school. And I'm glad that I did. However, now that I have the student loans, I'm not so happy. But I loved school, and I did very well, even going through all of this stuff that I went through. I love that higher learning, that knowledge and expansion of my mind. And it gave me an outlet, I guess, a creative outlet with writing, and there was a reason for it. Why I'm not using my talents from school, I don't know. I put it on the back burner when I got burned so bad at work. It was another painful experience I had to kind of come to terms with. Pluto opposite Sun turned on me, turned on a dime. And then I saw the gaslight, and then I saw the manipulation, and then I was becoming more and more sensitive. Legit, I kid you not, when I worked in there, I'll never forget. I went into my boss's office one day and said, "You need to move my cubicle like over in the far corner or something, away from people." And I said, "Please get me away from this person you have me sitting next to." Because her vibes just rubbed off on me the wrong way, man. Like, I could tell she didn't like me. Like, I could feel it. To the point where I'm telling you, I could hear thoughts of people. I'd walk in there with a smile on my face, and I knew that I was just happy to have a job. It's why I never wanted to be in that office. I wanted to be around my my clients. I did. I enjoyed what I did. I liked working with people. I liked watching people help them. And I liked watching their lives change, you know, and them know that someone cared. Even though that they had an issue, I didn't look down on them because they had some problems with their mental state. I understood it because I dealt with abuse. I understood why. They dealt with trauma. And I kind of was doing a little bit, you know, when I would take them places, we would go places, and I had a local government car, and I would ask them, point blank, straight up, you know, did you deal with childhood abuse? And the answer, most of the time, was yes. Extreme, and I'm not talking just bad, I'm talking extreme trauma. Which you know, obviously I'm kind of on a gag order. I can't really talk about any of the people who I work with, but they all loved me. Like, it was a very rewarding job. But the people who I worked for hated me. People I worked with loved me. The people I worked for hated me. Do you know why? Because it wasn't about clout. It wasn't about myself. It was about helping other people. I wanted them to actually get out of the system and find a sense of self, that they're worth something. They're not unworthy of feeling loved or being loved, or that they can get better. There is hope. That was one of my biggest things, is like, look, man, like, let's get you better. You can keep your Social Security. You just, find yourself maybe something, a little part-time job or a little side gig that gives you a little bit of sense of self. What really gets you going. Like if you enjoy journaling, do that. And I noticed people were starting to feel better and get better. They were starting to meet their goals. Well, heaven forbid that start to happen, because then guess what that means? They're going to transcend out of the local government system and become stable on their own, and they won't need a case manager anymore. Well, that's not job security, and that's not money security for them. That's more paperwork. But there's how many more people who are struggling in society that really could use a boost and a helping hand, knowing that they don't suck just because they're having some mental health issues. And many mental health issues can be resolved. I mean, unless they're on the high autism spectrum or something along those lines, then it's a little bit harder. But a lot of people don't understand that. Many people who have schizophrenia, it's actually not mental. It's not a mental disorder. They actually are just sensitive to the spirit realm. They actually are hearing other voices. It may come across that they look like they're crazy, but they're really not. They're actually, and if they would have got the recognition of maybe they are actually hearing somebody from the other side, or they are getting messages from, or they're getting interfered with by dark forces, maybe then they wouldn't feel, they feel validated and be able to work on it. But no, they just want to keep people on medicine. And medicine, don't get me wrong, when this stuff starts happening to you, medicine does help. It does help calm things. But those voices don't go away with the schizophrenic. No, they don't. It just keeps them zombified. So really, you're just calming their anxiety, but the voices ain't going away, and it's usually because they're highly sensitive. And this is the type of stuff that I understood that the behavioral health community doesn't understand. I'm not saying that it's all that, but if I look at someone's natal chart and be like, oh, this person's a Pisces and then with an Aquarius rising and a Pisces moon, I'd be like, okay, we go deeper into this thing, because they very well could be, or Scorpio, or Cancer, and look at their natal chart and be like, why this is not implemented when it comes to mental health. It really needs to be. And I'm a sociology major. Like, I wasn't a social worker. I mean, I would have, I was hired as a social worker. But I'm more of a victim's advocate type person. I'm more about getting people the help they need, not keeping them sick, and just managing them. You know, I mean, if they want to take my channel down, but then so be it. What can I do at this point? That's Saturn. That's a Saturn.